Patch 8.3 originally didn't add many new pets for hunters to tame, which was a little bit disappointing, and then a few weeks down the line Blizzard were like, hey hunters, do you want some new pets? And threw a ton of new pets for hunters to tame. Now they're pretty much all things that were in the game originally, but I think that's fine because there's still a lot of cool stuff for hunters to tame. So I wanted to highlight 10 of those pets that are my favourite that you can go out and go and tame today. If your favourite pet from 8.3 didn't make it in, it's not that I forgot it, it's just that I prefer the ones that are on this list. So in no particular order, the first pet we're going to talk about is the armoured Quillin. And previously there were Quillin tameable. Quillins are quite cool, but we've never had armoured ones until now. And from one place we're going to be able to get a bluey coloured one, a red coloured one, or a silver and a silver one if you do want them all. And these are all going to come from the Throne of Thunder boss called Iron Quan. These are Beast Mastery only, so you will need to be Beast Mastery to be able to tame them. And to get to this boss, I would recommend heading to the LFR version because you're going to save a lot of time. To do that, you want to head out to the Vale of Eternal Blossoms, switch it back to the one prior to 8.3, and then speak to the NPCs that you'll find in Lore Walker Cho's room. These will allow you to queue up for LFR, and you want to queue up for Pinnacle of Storms. Then you'll be inside the section, and after a short walk and some trash, you'll be at Iron Quan. Now, what you'll need to do to tame the one that you need is kill the ones that are kind of there. So if he mounts up on the red one, you'll need to kill the red one so he can mount up on either the blue or silver one. And if you do want to tame them all, then you'll need to tame the first one, feign death, let the fight reset, kill the first one, tame the second one, reset, kill the first two, and then tame the third one, and then you'll have all of them. There is also a fourth armoured Quillin that comes from the Mogu invasion in Vale from Hound Lord Ren. The next pet on the list is going to be a mechanical chicken, and there are mechanical chickens already tameable, but this one's different in the fact that it has massive kind of rocket jet things on its sides, on its wings, and that sets it apart from the rest, especially if you're going for a specific look. I think it's kind of cool. So as it is a mechanical pet, you will need to have the Mecha Bond imprint matrix, which lets you tame mechanical beasts, but you can tame this as any hunter spec, and if you're a gnome, goblin, or mecha gnome, then you'll already have that baseline, so you won't need to get that item. But once you're able to tame mecha pets, the next thing to do is head over to Mechagon, the kind of island added in 8.2, and there you'll need to wait for a daily NPC, who will kind of like a guest NPC that will randomly show up one day, called Oglethorpe. Once he's there, the Ooks fleet /MG can spawn, and that's what we need to tame for the pet. It'll be running around the island. I would recommend making a macro to try and target it. You can target it from quite far away at least, and it does run quite fast. So once you do spot it, I would recommend flying in front of it, using concussive shot, and then taming it as it isn't trappable. So your only option is to slow it and then tame it as best as you can. And there you go, you get yourself a little robo chicken. The next pet up on the list is going to be the Void Warp Stalker, and you've probably seen these prior to 8.3, and that's because they were the base pet for Void Elves to be able to get, or they just already got. But everyone else has been out of luck as you've not been able to get these until now at least. And I think it looks great. It's just very kind of demonic looking and, you know, evil. So if you've got a specific look going on, I think it'll really match quite well. So to get this pet, there's a few places. I would recommend heading out to Shadowguard Incursion in Macquarie. It's kind of the Argus area. Head out there and they'll just be kind of waddling around and you'll be able to pick one up quite easily. These are available to all hunter specs. There's nothing special you need to know to tame it, just head out there and get yourself the pet. The other options are from the Visions of Stormwind. There'll be some in there called the Sewer Beastlands. There'll be some in the dungeon, the Seat of the Triumvirate. And they're also in the Umbra Hollows in Macquarie, where that's a rare elite. That one's going to be a little bit harder to come across. So a bunch of options either way to go and get yourself the pet. The rugged Syphilids are going to be the next pet up on this list, and these are going to be obtainable in a black colour, a teal colour, and a purple colour. Now these are only available to Beast Mastery hunters as they are exotic pets, but they do look quite nice. Like I do like the updated Silithid model. This was actually obtainable prior to 8.3, but only in a red colour. So if you were waiting for a different colour scheme of them, now you have 3 additional choices. So these are only found in Silithus in the version where Sargeras has stabbed his sword into the terrain. So if you can't see the sword there, then you won't be able to see these pets. And they're going to spawn within their own hive. So one will spawn in Hive Regal, that'll be the teal one. One will spawn in Hive Ashi, which is going to be the black one. and the final one will spawn in Hive Zora. Now I don't know the respawn timers on these, but from what I've seen they weren't that long, so I don't think you're going to be having too much trouble to hunt these down, but they are rare spawns, so you could be waiting a while to actually grab yourself the tame. A ton of birds of prey were added to 8.3 to be tamed as well, and one of those sets in particular is the Cryptid Ravens, and these are really cool looking pets that were added in Warlord of Draenor, and these are open to anyone to be tamed, doesn't matter your hunter spec. And the colour in particular I like the most is going to be the fiery red one. Looks pretty much identical to Rukmar, and you can tame Rukmar if you want to, that is now an option in 8.3, but I wouldn't recommend that. Rukmar is a little bit of a pain to get, just due to the fact that people are pretty much killing it off cooldown. Instead, if you head inside Skyreach, head over to the second boss, which is Rukran, you'll be able to tame that with nothing special you need to know, just get it tamed and you'll have yourself the fiery red version. There is also a blue version which you can pick up in Spires of Iraq as well. There is a fell version which you can get from Hellfire Citadel, the like bird boss. His trash will have a fell one. Or alternatively, there is one flying around the raid outside in Tanan Jungle. There's a brown one which you can pick up in Sketis, Spires of Iraq, and then there is a purple one which you can grab in Shadow Moon Valley, the Draenor version. So there you go, you got yourself a Cryptid Raven. The next two pets in this video come from the exact same place, and unfortunately they are exotic, so they're only available to Beast Mastery, but they both look absolutely fantastic. I really do like how they look. The first one up is going to be the Iron Horde Clefttooth, which is going to come from Beast Lord Darmak in Mythic Blackrock Foundry. You do have to be a mythic to be able to get this to spawn. Looks pretty much similar to the mount, and it just looks really cool. There's not a whole lot to say, especially if you're going with like maybe a Magha Iron Horde look, then definitely a pet that could complement that. So you just want to head into the fight and DPS that Beast Lord down a little bit, and he will eventually summon the Clefttooth from the door at the back. You'll be able to tame that. And then also part of the same fight, but you can get this on normal, heroic LFR, is the Tanned Armored Rylak. This has got kind of like jet engines on it, and once again it is exotic, but this is also going to come from the Beast Lord Darmak fight, and just once he mounts up on it, you need to make sure he does kind of pick that as one of his mounts, which you can do by kind of pulling him over to it as you DPS him down, and he'll jump on that, and then you'll be able to tame that, and you got yourself two pretty damn cool looking mounts, honestly. Yeah, I don't know, they're just really good. And next up is going to be another raid. They seem to really like the idea of making a lot of these raid pets tameable in 8.3, which I'm down for. There's a lot of really good ones. And this is going to take us to Siege of Orgrimmar. It's going to take us to one of the later bosses, so I would recommend doing what we did for Throne of Thunder, heading over to the Pandas in Vale, and head into the Gates of Retribution for LFR. You'll have to kill the first two bosses, and then after Iron Juggernaut, you'll end up in the main bit of Orgrimmar, and that's where we want to be. The first one we can tame is going to be this Corcoran Wolf, and it's going to be, all the wolves are the same colour that we're going to tame in this section, but the armour that they have on will be slightly different. So this is more like a darker brown, and that's going to just come from the trash in this area. And then the bosses, the Corcoran Dark Shaman, these are both going to have two different Corcoran Wolves that you can also tame as well. So if you're interested in any of these Corcoran Wolves, you've got 3 different colours to go after, and pick the one that you prefer, really. The next pets on this video are going to be these Armani Armoured Bear. There's going to be 3 different colours you can pick up, and some of them do resemble the mounts, like the Armani War Bear or Battle Bear. And those are really cool models, especially since they updated the base bear on it. It was a little bit weird to see originally, but I'm more of a fan of the newer bear being on that armour. So the first one you can pick up is straight from Zuldazar. You'll just head out to Talaman, and there'll be a bunch of them walking around that you'll be able to pick up very easily, very quickly. As these are bears, any hunter spec can pick them up, and the wolves on the last section are also available to any hunter spec, in case I forgot to mention that. The next one is going to come from the Dungeon Zulaman, which you'll find all the way in Ghostlands. Head there, and on the right side section, you'll find them just kind of walking around, and you'll be able to pick those up very easily too. The final one is going to be the kind of darker coloured armoured bear, which is a lot more similar to the mount, the Armani War Bear. And this one's going to be a little bit more of a pain to get. You'll need to head over to Throne of Thunder, and the second boss, Throne of Thunder Horadom, will open these 4 different gates. And the gates represent a different kind of troll faction. And the final one is the Armana, and that's the one that you're going to need for this colour variant. So you're going to have to wait for all of the gates to eventually be opened, and then once the fourth one is opened, you're going to be able to get this tame. So it will take you a little bit of time. You can get to Throne of Thunder a little bit quicker using the LFR trick, or you can run out there if you want to do it on a different difficulty. Now this pet has a special place for me because it looks like the mount that I've by far put the most time into getting, and had a lot of like drama and stuff around. So when I seen this was tameable, I was kind of like, oh crap, I gotta go get that. And it's meant to be the Corrupted Raven Lord. You're meant to be able to go and tame Anzu directly, which is in Sethic Halls, but for whatever reason, Anzu isn't currently tameable. That's what Blizzard announced you could tame, but it doesn't work right now. So in the future, that should be fixed, and you can go and tame Anzu from Sethic Halls. I'll probably pin a comment when that happens. But for now, we do have one option of getting the Corrupted Raven Lord. It is a bird of prey, so you can pick this up as any hunter spec. And to get it, we need to be on a specific quest in Mount Hyjal, which is the level kind of 80-ish zone. You'll want to be at the Shrine of Aviana, and you need to be on the quest A Prayer and a Wing. A Prayer and a Wing. And this, if you've already completed it, you're out of luck because you won't be able to summon this mob anymore. But someone who is or can get to the quest can help you out. They can get to the quest and then do party sync, and you'll be able to then pick your the quest up yourself and go and get yourself the pet. Now, I do have this quest currently on one of my characters on Horde EU. So if you are looking to get this pet on Horde EU, I can help you out. Just let me know in the comments down below or something, and when I've got some free time, I will go and get you the pet. And it'd be nice if other people in the comments did help out too, if you're on EU Alliance or NA Horde, NA Alliance, etc. You know, just help people out, because this is kind of tough to get right now, just due to the fact that you need to be on a specific quest. And if you've already completed the quest, then you're stuck, you're out of luck basically. But really cool looking pet. As I said, it's more special to me just due to it looking like the mount and the kind of trouble and stress and amount of attempts I went to get the mount itself. But either way, definitely a cool looking pet. So before we close out the video, I did want to give an honorable mention to the Armored Brown Direhorn. I really do like this pet, and we do already have an Armored Direhorn that's tameable, which is Horadon from Throne of Thunder. But this is a colour variant, and to tame this you can be any hunter spec, but you do need to have gotten the Ancient Tome of Dynamancy or to be a Zandalari Troll. You can get that tome from the Isle of Giants off north of Pandaria. Just go kill the Zandalari there for the chance to drop. And once you've got that, then if you head over to the Isle of Thunder, just kind of where I am now on the map, there'll be a chance of this Direhorn just kind of spawning and running in. It does get killed pretty quickly, but if you're just waiting there, eventually it will spawn. It does seem like it does have a decent-ish respawn time, like 30-40 minutes. But eventually it will spawn, you'll be able to pick up yourself this Armored Brown one if you are interested in that. So that is the video coming to a close. If you're interested in seeing the full list of pets added in 8.3, then Petopia is your place to go. Great source of information for hunter pets. So definitely would recommend checking that out, and I'll have that linked in the description below. Outside of that, look out for more videos coming soon. Thanks for watching, guys. See ya.